Hello there everyone, and welcome back to the next Muunilinst mock update video. And in this video I'm going to be working on the large scale building that I was working on last episode. In this episode I get really close to finishing it. You're not going to want to miss this episode, so make sure to stay till the very end. You get to see this building pretty much fully constructed, and it's massive. So I'm so excited for you guys to see the progress I've made this week. So without any further ado, let's get started. Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to our 3 donators for this week. We had a great live stream, so again, Saturday nights, if you're free to join, definitely come join the live streams. They've been a ton of fun, so huge shout out to Michigan Bricks, Director KW, and Liam. 3 awesome donations, 3 awesome people. Make sure to come join the streams, and a huge shout out to those 3 guys. You guys are awesome. All the funds are going back in the Muunilinst to create an absolutely epic battle. So thank you to those 3 guys so much. You guys are awesome. And thank you to everyone who's been joining the streams. Again, if you're free Saturday nights, come hang out, have some fun, it'll be a good time. So let's go ahead and get on to the rest of the video, but huge shout out to Liam, Director KW, and Michigan Bricks. Alright, to start off here, I went ahead and finished this inner part of the building. So essentially it goes all the way up to how high the pillars go. So if you remember from last episode, I talked a little bit about what I was doing here with this inside part, and kind of building it up on all sides. So it's now built up on all sides using lots of different parts with masonry bricks, some plates, and then some normal bricks as well. So it's all built up as high as it needs to be for now. So the next step is I'm going to put some plates on top of this and start to create the kind of next floor, if that makes sense. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute, but I'm going to put some plates on top and then we'll start to work on the second floor. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that right now. Alright guys, so here is what I've got going so far for the second floor. You can see I put a bunch of plates overhanging the middle part of the building, so they're now lined up kind of with some of the pillars up top, and then you can see I also started to work on the top layer with all of the different second layer details, including a bunch of the actual pillars themselves. So what I've done here is I've replicated the design down there on the bottom base up there, just a little bit smaller and not as detailed and not as tall. So we've got those 2 bases are pretty much the same, and then stacking the pillars almost in the same spot, same pattern throughout the thing, just a little bit closer. So it kind of goes up and are a little closer to each other. But essentially this is what it's kind of looking like right here for the second floor of the building. Here's the first close-up of the wall, again using the same design that I used down here on the bottom base with all the different sand green and light gray plates, as well as some masonry bricks as well. So there's kind of the top part, one with a very similar design but just a little bit shorter, but again using a lot of those smaller details to really give it some texture. And then same thing on this side. I wanted to add a little bit more masonry bricks. So you'll see there's a couple more masonry bricks in there, but you're also noticing on some of this stuff that we don't have the same height all the way around it. So the reason, like, you'll see some of these side walls are kind of taller or shorter than other parts of the wall. I wanted to do that to make it seem like kind of parts have been chipped off by battle damage. So I think I'll go back in and add some more battle damage to it with some 1x1s and stuff like that, and perhaps I'll get into that later on in the video. And then here's this side on the front as well. Again, nothing too special, just the similar detail parts. And then the final side, I don't need to show you that. It's pretty much the same exact thing, just using some bricks instead of plates because I'm starting to run out of plates, so I'm having to conserve some parts. But yeah, here's kind of what the overall building is looking like so far. The next few steps that I'm going to do here is start to work on some more details with these pillars, but also you can see that light gray kind of inner building wall that I've built for this part. So that whole light gray part, I essentially have to do another one of those up in there, and then after that it'll be the roof on top of that. So I'm just going to start working on lots of miscellaneous different smaller details in that inner wall for this building, and I'll update you guys once I have some more significant progress. But here's kind of what the building is looking like so far. Alright, so if you guys remember the screenshot that I showed from last video, between the 2 buildings that I'm working on right now, there's like a walkway that goes across both of the buildings. So essentially I started to work on a walkway design right here, so this would kind of go up above the camera here. I can show you guys later on in the video. But here is pretty much what the design is for the top, just using some different tiles in light gray and sand green. Again, that light gray and sand green combo always looking really good. And then on the sides there's a bunch of slopes right there to give it kind of an interesting kind of side going on right there as I knock down that other clone trooper. This thing is actually hard to fit in frame. It's pretty long because there's a long distance between each of the buildings that I've got to fit in there. And then on the very bottom you can kind of see I'm using some interesting, like those support Technic beams So I've got those all lined up underneath like that. So, and then of course some more masonry down there to give it some texture. So this is kind of what we've got going so far. I'll give you guys a better look at this hopefully later on in the episode. I'll kind of show you where it's going to go. But here's the quick design that I've got going for the walkway that's going to connect the building I'm working on right now, and then the building that I'm probably going to work on for next episode. Alright guys, so I worked a lot more on that top area. As you can see, I've now covered a little kind of square wall like I did down there. It's a little bit smaller, and you'll see the reason for that later on, but mostly it's so I can fit clone troopers in between the pillars right there, because I really want to have clones shooting down at the droids kind of in between these pillars on the second floor up there. So now both floors are complete. And here's some close-up shots of what I've got going on up here. So essentially just using masonry and 1x4 and 1x2 normal light gray bricks, nothing too special going on up here. It's going to be pretty plain because you're really not going to see it, and you'll kind of see later on when I go through the next couple steps of the build. You're going to notice that you're not really going to be looking at this middle part. You're really going to be focused on the pillars and the rest of the building and the roof. So that's why this part is not as detailed for that reason, and to conserve parts, but just some normal masonry brick and some light gray normal bricks. Same thing for this side back here, nothing too special, and then same exact thing on that other side right there. But yeah, one thing also to note is I've been presenting the MOC a lot from the other side of the build recently, but one thing to note is that the MOC is kind of meant to be presented from this angle of the build, so that is something to note. So this front area is a little more detailed than the other side that I've been showing more recently, but yeah. Just wanted to point that out real quick, but here is kind of the details of all four sides on the building. The next step here is going to be adding some sort of roof, because in the screenshot there is kind of a curved roof that goes up and connects at the top. So that'll be the last step kind of for this building to make it more complete. Alright, so I've put on the first part of the roof here. So this is going to be the angled sides, and then you can see how there's slopes over there. So the roof is kind of going to angle up and rest on those slopes on each side. And then this is kind of the triangle that goes on both sides of the building to kind of make everything connect. One thing to note is that the dark gray slopes will need to be changed to sand green. I just don't have any sand green slopes, that's why they're dark gray, so those are definitely going to change to either light gray or sand green. I'll have to hear what you guys have to say about it, but I think sand green is going to work a little better for those slopes. So expect those slopes to be changed to sand green, and then I might even change the light gray to like normal sand green bricks. I'm not really too sure yet, so expect kind of this triangle part to be mostly sand green. I just don't have all the pieces for it yet, so this is kind of what we're looking at right now. And then for the side paneling of the roof, I've gone with a very simple design because these panels are actually quite big, so I need to go with a simple design. So if we look at minifigure, it's quite big with a minifigure compared next to it, so it's not going to be something that's super detailed. It's going to be a lot of these larger pieces so that I can conserve more parts, but I've offset them so that it does still create a texture, if that makes sense. So you can kind of see how they're offset. I'm realizing now I'm going to need to go in and fix this one, but this one looks right. This one, see how it's kind of offset on all these ones. So that's kind of the reason I did that. It was to add some texture, and then outlining it in sand green I think is also going to make it stand out and make it a little more unique. Even though it's mostly larger pieces, doing these kind of different individual textures and different techniques offsetting them, I think is going to make it look a little better. Alright guys, so I've now attached the roof to the building, and this is what we are kind of looking at right now. You can see I've attached the front parts with the slopes, and then I've also put the tiles panels on the side, and this is kind of what we're looking at right now. I think by adding this roof, it actually makes the building look so much more complete. Before it was just kind of standing up there, not really doing much, and now it's kind of feeling like a full complete building now. So it's not quite done. I've got a few more things I've got to touch up here and there, but this is kind of what I was hoping for when I was envisioning the build itself, for like this building in particular. So there we go guys, look at that. There's the roof, and the second floor is now pretty much complete. This is what we're looking at for a building. I'll go ahead and show you guys the other angle of what we've got going on. Here's what it looks like from the front angle here on the other side of the table. So I'm definitely happy with the way this is looking, guys. It's not entirely finished. There's a few small things I need to kind of line up and make sure everything looks good. I also need to, well, something I want to do is I want to add a couple more pillars on the second floor. I was looking at the screenshot again. and there seems to be some more pillars kind of on the second floor kind of surrounding it. So I want to put some more pillars in between the gaps, but I think that's going to be something for next episode. It is right now Saturday night, so I need to get this video edited and make sure I can get it out on time. So I think that's going to be it for this episode. We pretty much worked on the entire second floor and then added in the roof panels and everything like that. So the roof is now looking pretty good. This building is looking a lot more complete. It is so close to being done. Just not quite there. There's a couple more things I just need to do to touch it up and finish it up, but this should give you guys a good idea of what I have in mind. And then I'll talk more about the walkway in the next episode because I showed that a little bit earlier, so that will go across to the next building, and I'll probably get to that in the next episode. But I just wanted to show you guys what this building is looking like right now because I'm liking it so far. Hopefully you guys like it. Again, some more things need to be changed before it's 100% complete, but for now I'm liking the way it looks. I'm just going to try to get a couple more angles for you guys here. So yeah, looking pretty good. It's pretty much the way I had envisioned it. Definitely let me know what you guys have to say in the comment section below, if there's anything I should change or consider when kind of working on this building once again. So definitely let me know you guys' opinions in the comment section below. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to the outro. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. The building is looking really awesome here. I had to set up a wide shot to close out the video here for the intro just because I think the building is looking really cool from the wide shot where you can see it compared to the size of a minifigure and the rest of the buildings in the MOC. So I'm having a ton of fun with this build. Hope you guys are enjoying the build series. Next episode, I'm going to go ahead and change a few things here and there to kind of finish out this building and make it look more complete. So any sort of feedback you have on this building, any sort of new ideas, make sure to put those in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to go through those and start to compile a list of things I need to work on for next episode. So as always, leave your feedback in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.